Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the collaborative album from Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats, Unlocked. So this is the debut collaboration of rapper Denzel Curry and producer Kenny Beats. Both of these dudes are coming off of a handful of critically acclaimed projects over the past couple years. You had Denzel Curry release two pretty fantastic back-to-back records with Taboo and Zoo, and Kenny Beats has stayed super busy in the background as well, producing albums for the likes of Vince Staples, Rico Nasty, and O3 Greedo. Also, how could you forget the viral single that he had with Zach Fox, I Got Depression, from last year? Kenny's had his hands in numerous amounts of different singles and projects, all while running his really popular YouTube channel, The Cave. Denzel and Kenny linked up for an episode at the end of season 1, and it seems like the chemistry that they had after that session had led to this collaborative album over here. And to my understanding, they did record this after that session. Now, this album is really short. It's just 8 tracks, 18 minutes long, and apparently it was recorded in one 24-hour session, and it certainly feels like it, because after listening to these tracks, it does kind of sound like they could have used a little bit more time to marinate on them, as they're a little rough around the edges, but it does certainly sound like they had a ton of fun going into this thing, and that fun vibe of this record is certainly its big selling point and does translate through the music, I think. The record kicks off with this intro skit that sounds like it's coming out of some radio programming from back in the day, and it sounds heavily MF Doom inspired. And I mean, taking a look at the cover art, I mean, you can kind of see that comic book villain aesthetic might be suggesting at a Doom influence as well, I think. Then the project finally kicks off with the track Take It Back, which is a pretty great start. Lots of high energy on this cut with a pretty great beat with some pummeling drum hits, and Denzel is actually sounding pretty gritty as hell on this cut. There's also a pretty cool beat switch up that comes along about halfway through, and then Denzel's voice starts to get pitch shifted down really low and then up really high. And it's at this point in the track that it gives me a lot of like Quasimodo vibes, honestly. But this album starts to take a pretty big drop in quality after this cut, I think. They do keep the energy up pretty high on the following track, Lay Up, but the track is pretty brief and kind of feels unfinished. And the track Pyro that comes directly after that is another pretty brief cut that feels like a rehashing of the previous two, but even less interesting. This track just doesn't really have anything memorable about it, in my opinion. It kind of sounds like it's over before it even starts. And then we get the track Diet in the middle of this album, which is another pretty underwhelming spot on this release, in my opinion. The beat on this track is just super weak, and there's really nothing in the way of a hook on it. I did enjoy the track So Incredible, though. The beat on this one sounds like it could have come off of Zoo, and Denzel actually even shouts out Zoo on the hook. It kind of feels like you're driving around in the summertime in the city again, like you got off that Zoo record, but this one has some pretty cool, watery, like, weird guitars that are, like, melting around the track. The 7th track on this record, track 7, is just kind of like this jazzy instrumental passage, also heavily inspired by MF Doom, it sounds like. But in my opinion, I don't really think this cut really added much, or if anything, to the project overall. But the closing track, however, Cosmic, I thought was a pretty big standout, probably my favorite on the whole project. But honestly, I mean, I was kind of underwhelmed by this collaboration, unfortunately. I was expecting fireworks after I heard about this, and maybe that would have happened if these guys took a little bit more time hashing this out. Because, I mean, Kenny Beats has come to be known right now as a producer that can bring the best out of anybody that he's working with and the sound that they want to craft. And I can't say that he necessarily fails at this on this project with Denzel, but I also can't say that he succeeds with flying colors, because this project, in my opinion, wasn't as good as Denzel's last 2 albums or Kenny Beats' collaborative album with Rico Nasty. The production is kind of cool at times, but there is nothing in the way of a strong hook on this thing. But still, I would like to see these two link up again on a project that they take a little bit more time on. But with that being said, I'm feeling a 5.5 over here on Unlocked. So if you did enjoy this project, you want to grab it on a vinyl copy, I would act fast, as Vinyl Me Please does have an exclusive pressing up for sale that's on neon green on their website right now. I'm going to have links down below for you guys if you want to scoop it before it sells out. And if you listen to this Denzel Curry Kenny Beats project, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like down below. And if you want more content from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Peace.